My name is Samantha Martin. I'm the Chief Executive Human and Trainer for the Amazing Acro-Cats. I've actually been working with animals since I was a teenager. I wanted to be an animal trainer since I was 7 years old. I started out training dogs, and then I opened up a company for training rats for film and television. It was called the Rat Company and Friends. Anytime a movie needed a creepy critter, they knew to come to me. I couldn't really make a living out of that, so I expanded, and I ended up doing educational programs with all sorts of small exotic animals. And one day I woke up and I was like, well, you know, I really set out to be an animal trainer, and I'm not really training animals. Around that time, I'd had a cat that came into my life named Tuna, and she was a very unique cat. She wasn't very affectionate, but she really liked training. So I started teaching her to do some things and started taking her places. You know, initially it was to get more, get film work for the cats. People were so interested and excited that a cat could do tricks that I ended up putting a whole little show together and started out just at art galleries and passing the hat. And finally we booked a theater, went on the road, and it seemed like wherever we went, people were just fascinated by these cats doing tricks, or sometimes not doing the tricks, because they're cats. They're still independent. They're not really out to please you. They're more out to please themselves. People say it's one of the best parts of the shows when the cats don't do what I ask them to. And sometimes they just leave the stage and go wandering into the audience. So it's definitely not a perfect show, but it's always different because the cats keep mixing it up. Right now, we are touring with 19 cats. Yeah, they actually all have different personalities and different skill sets because the cats are all my pets, so I live with them. And basically, this is what I was doing in my living room before I took the show on the road. I let the cats pick their own tricks because every cat has a different interest, different skill set. Some cats like to climb, some cats like to jump, some cats like to run, some cats use their paws. Basically, what the cat tends to gravitate to is what I'll work on a trick. And I'll just come up with different creative ideas that can be turned into a fun trick. On the first show day, she's actually been kind of experimenting. She's been going over there and starting to play the piano on her own. She's expressed an interest in becoming one of our keyboard players. So I actually created the Rock Cats before I created the Acro-Cats. Because I had a cat that played piano, and I thought, why not put a whole band together? Because I had also had a band called the Fowl Band at one point with a duck on drums, a goose on guitar, and a chicken on piano. I tried to do the same thing with the cats. The band is set up on the dinner table. Yeah. So whenever I go to cook, the cats that play in the band will run to their instruments and start playing because that's their way of begging. It's a dinner and a show. Cats are easily distracted. They're really not focused. They don't aim to please you. They're affected by all sorts of little tiny noises. And every cat has their quirks. Like Wiki doesn't like women with, big white hairdos, and Buckles does not like babies crying. Like Buckles literally stops and stares down a crying baby. We have Sophia the Airhead because she's just kind of a spacey cat, very slow in doing things, and seems to be easily distracted by sparkly, shiny things. Then we have Oz the Clown because he's kind of the joke cat in the show that doesn't really do much of anything, and the thing he does do, he does it all wrong. Jax is the troublemaker, and Jax pretty much just bails most of the time on the show and runs out to the audience, but always comes back to sit on her skull. They all have their quirks, they all have their unique personalities, and we compile this crazy list of their likes and dislikes. They're all very unique cats that have unique personalities. Well, all of my cats are former orphans, rescues, and strays, so they're not any particular kind of breed. So anybody's cat can do this. Some of the tricks really just take minutes to teach. Others, of course, can take weeks, depending on how complex it is. But you can train any cat at any age to do something. Cats generally get into trouble because they're bored. They have behavioral problems because they're bored. So if you give your cat a job, your cat will be a lot happier and you'll be a lot happier. So you always know that there's a problem, but when you get involved with the fostering and rescue and you see it firsthand, people just dropping off their cats left and right, and a lot of times because of behavioral problems. Well, I can't save them all, but I can make a difference. So I just continued fostering after that, and once in a while, when a kitty would come along that was particularly special, and I would add them to the troupe. But since 2009, we've actually fostered and found homes for 206 cats and kittens through Acro-Cats. And also, we're usually partnered with a local rescue. We donate a portion of the proceeds to the local rescue, and they bring adoptable cats and kittens. Yes, you can train cats, and it is on their own terms and treat rewards, but it's all positive reinforcement. You cannot punish a cat. Cats do not respond well at all to any kind of negativity. So it's got to be fun for the cats, and the cats have to be happy, and they have to enjoy what they're doing. And so that's what the show's all about, is the cats having a good time.